thought maybe this change of scenery would be nice to sort of tone down. Um, I'm in a play right now. I just got cast in the first play that I will have been in since 2017. I've been acting for most of my life, but not really been a part of a production for a really long time. I was a stage actor from pretty much the moment I was born. Not the moment, but my very first acting role was when I was 9 months old. I was baby Jesus in a church play. For a long time, I told people I was 6 months old. Like, that was part of my mythos, is that I would say that. But then I thought about it, and it's like, my birthday is in March, and Christmas comes in December, and I was playing baby Jesus in a Christmas play, so obviously it was 9 months. I don't know how I didn't quite do that in my head. But yeah, acting pretty much my entire life. A lot of musical theater productions, amateur musical theater productions, but still, a whole bunch of them. And I did a play in 2017 for college. It was Inherit the Wind. I was the character of Henry Drummond, who is a very old man, who is a lawyer, had a lot of old man makeup, and I was there advocating for the greatest good. My performance went over really well. I felt like I did a really good job. I felt like I had the whole theater department's respect, and I left deciding that I was going to throw acting completely in the garbage, that I was never going to act again. I decided that I was done. I mean, I think I said for the time being, but I think ideally I wanted to walk away from acting completely. I had kind of I have run my course and now I am walking away from it kind of deal to it. Which is very, very silly because I left college with like no real direction to go into, and I quickly had this awful, awful emptiness just come over me as soon as I left. When I could have had some kind of support in the world of acting and theater in the meantime. It wasn't until about a year after graduating that class when I was feeling really lost, and I was like, hey, you know, people used to praise me for acting. Maybe I could go to this place and have people tell me that I'm really good at it. There are other core reasons why I wanted to act. But that was a big part of it, was that, like, I felt lonely, and I felt like I wasn't getting the validation from the world that I was seeking, because validation from the world felt super important at the time. It still can feel super important at times, but it's felt less and less and less so because I've just gained my own little sense of self-worth over the years. But yeah, I went back to acting in 2018. But just classes. I didn't really go out and audition for anything. People would send me audition postings all the time, and I just would never go for them. And then finally I started being in some short films a few years ago. Again, really amateur stuff, but really fun, expressive, creative stuff. But I had never gotten back to plays, even though play work was what I had been doing for my entire life. Up until, I stopped doing that in 2017. And, part of it is that I don't like the legwork of things. I don't like the work. I am very much the give me heat and then I'll add the wood kind of person, which is not a good mindset for success, of course. But yeah, I don't like going on to the social medias where roles are being posted, and they're being posted all the time. They're being posted all the time, and I just don't want to bother to go out to them even when I do see them. It's like, I gotta make time in this night when I was kind of planning on going and seeing the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And then I gotta, go do their thing over and over again, and then I'm probably not even gonna get the role, even if I do audition. That's a great cop-out, right? I wouldn't succeed even if I tried. So that's a great reason not to try. There's always gonna, the role's just gonna go to somebody that they already know in some nepotism game, or, they're gonna give the role to some guy that's handsomer than me anyway, so. Yeah, all these great, wonderful reasons why I haven't been in a play for years and have always wondered, would I be happier if I were in a play? Because I love being in plays. And this one happened to come to me I'd like to say because I finally buckled up and tried harder and auditioned, but actually a friend of mine had this role, and he passed it off to me because he decided that he couldn't be a part of it anymore for some time reasons and also some thematic reasons, because there's some really heavy material in this play. It is about a woman's struggle with mental health through different periods of her life, and I play her husband, who we sort of have a little bit of a bonding over, that we have similar mental health struggles. And there's a part when I go into great detail talking about a certain attempt that I just made to do something very bad to myself. And man, it's been really bringing up some stuff within me, because I don't have the most experience with that kind of thing, but I do have experience with bad thoughts. I have, like, pretty much my entire life had little fantastical thoughts of, like, well, if I wasn't here, then suddenly everybody would sing my praises. You know, they say the only perfect people are dead. I would be just revered if I were gone. I'd be more appreciated than I am when I am here. And I don't really delve into those fantasies so much anymore. Every once in a while they kind of creep in. But they're more... they're easier to track away from, you know, and move on to, hey, but it's really awesome being alive, you know, than it used to be. But to be in a role, you know, in an acting role, you have to kind of immerse yourself in the thought life of the character. And so I've had to, I think I've done a good job so far, but I've had to keep a comfortable little hazmat suit on as I've sort of delved into the toxic gases of these intrusive thoughts that people have, that this character is having that I'm playing. It's been hard, but it's also been nice. It's been really nice to actually give life to some struggles that I have had in the past. I feel like by living through this character, I'm giving life to my character, the character of me from some years ago. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about acting, is that you have a character that's on some sort of emotional wavelength. And everybody has some little shred of that emotion inside of them somewhere. Even if it's a completely different scenario that you found yourself in, that same core feeling, you can reach back and grab that without, you know, again, you got to be careful about it. You don't want to do too much emotional recall. Like if somebody's dying in a play, I don't recommend being like, well, now I'm going to sit here and think about when my actual dog died when I was 14 years old. Ooh, bring it out of me. That's great, authentic material. I don't recommend that process. But, you know, just there's a sort of emotional resonance that comes when you just read something that really speaks to you. And this play really speaks to me. And I love that. I love that that's my step back into the theater world after 6 years away from it. And another thing is that I just love being a part of a play because it enforces discipline. It makes sure that, like, I have to be in this place every single day that they have scheduled rehearsal. I have to be there, and I have to be on time, and I have to come prepared and ready to go. I have to come both memorized and, like, prepared to really dig into those sides of myself to give an honest expression of this character. I love the feeling of being disciplined, and this is the kind of discipline that I know because I grew up in it, and I'm realizing I'm a little rusty in the whole play experience from being away from it for so long, but it's just bringing up that same little fire inside of me. You know, I talked in a video called The Quest for Fire recently, you know, that kind of feeling, that let's do this. And it makes me feel like I really am a professional artist, for one thing, because I am getting paid for this role, which I knew that going into it, but it's just kind of gravy. I didn't really care about it. Just the opportunity to be in a play. I would have done it for free, honestly. Those guys got suckered by paying me. Yeah, in the book The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, he says one of the real attributes of the professional artist is that they show up every day. It might not always be in fun. It might just be for the sake of not getting fired, but they show up every day. They are dependable and they follow through. And it'll feel good to have done this show and followed through on it. I've been feeling not so great about some other ways that I've committed myself to other artistic projects lately. And, yeah. I'm going to build up a great amount of self-esteem, ironically, by playing a character who doesn't have a lot of self-esteem.
I can't turn this off!